we are going to see the application of these two equations. It's important that you know where these two equations are coming from. And at the same time, if you are taking SAT or SAT or ACT, you are expected to know these equations. These are very common equations that we use to assess our wealth, our valuation of cars and assets. So if we are growing some value of certain assets, then we have to multiply the principal or the original amount by a number that's bigger than 1. If something that it's depreciating or losing values, then we will multiply a number that's less than 1. Okay, we'll see some examples today. So first, let's take a look at number 7. So it says if you purchase government bonds issued by the Department of Treasury, you will earn an interest of 7% each year. If you bought $1,000 worth of government bonds on January 1st, 2020, what is the value of the government bond after 10 years? Now, let me show you something very exaggerated. Ready? So 1,000 is your starting value, right? After 1 year, you would multiply by 1 plus 0.07. Okay, after 1 year. Now, you have the option of copying this. You don't have to. You can just watch. Okay, now, are we okay with this calculation? That would give us the value, the balance, after 1 year. Then what about after 2 years? Well, then we start from the end of year 1. And then we will use this balance and say, well, let's go ahead and multiply by the same percentage again. That would be after year 2. After 2 years, you have this amount. What about if you keep going by year 3? After year 3, you have this. After year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, and year 10. And now you look at the calculation. Does that look stupid? It looks stupid, right? And we said, can we have a way to not write so many times, the 1 plus 0.07? We said, sure, of course, we can reduce the amount of writing, of course. And what can we do to reduce the amount of writing? That's when we say, let's go ahead and use exponent. So that's why the exponent represents the number of years, because that's the number of times you are collecting interest. So I hope not only you use the equation, you know where the equation comes from. I think that's very important. So now you will let your calculator to do the work to help you out finding out the value of these government bonds at the end of your duration. So 1,000 times 1 plus 0.07, or you can directly type in 1.07, raised to the power of 10. So let's see how much money you will have at the end of your 10-year period. It's $1,967.15. So 1,967 and 15 cents. 15 cents right here. All right. Are you satisfied to just place the money with the bonds and grow as well for almost double over 10 years? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? I see some not so pleasant faces. I guess you might be thinking like, that's too slow. I would love to see maybe doubling every 1 year or doubling every 1 month. That'll be lovely. Okay, so that's why you have other options. Maybe you want to invest in stocks and stuff. All right, of course, those would carry some risks. This one is almost risk-free, almost. It's not entirely risk-free. What could happen?
Like the whole United States goes into depression.
Yeah, well, actually, the whole United States going to depression is no problem. If the US doesn't exist, that's a problem. Okay, if the US doesn't have enough money to pay you the interest, that is a problem. Okay, So you know how the Silicon Valley Bank, how they went under? It's because the Federal Reserve, they kept on increasing interest rate. The value of those bonds keep on dropping. So they want to sell the bonds, but nobody wants them. So their portfolio kept on shrinking in value, and eventually they just don't have enough liquidity to pay off their whatever they need to pay, and that's how they went under. Okay, so if you want to be somewhat literate, okay, and also yeah, we'll talk about other examples. Okay, it's going to get interesting.